And Napoleon Hill describes decision by its opposite, which is actually procrastination. And we all love procrastination. Anytime I can get a chance, I will procrastinate. Anytime I can find it. But decision is moving forward. It's an action that we take. It's finally putting our foot on that gas so we start to move. Napoleon Hill's 8th step to Think and Grow Rich is decisions. Now, as an example of that, think about taking a road trip. If we go through the first 7 steps, you have faith, you know that you can actually go on this trip. You know you can make it there. Auto-suggestion, you tell yourself over again, I can do this, I think I can, I think I can. You take your specialized knowledge, you get out your map, your GPS, you plan your route, you plan the whole trip, you get the specific things that you need to do. You take some imagination, you imagine yourself there, you picture yourself in that beautiful beach town, laying on the beach, just enjoying life, getting excited about that trip. You get to organized planning where you really plan out specifics, what you're going to do, how long it's going to take you, where are the gas stations, where are the restrooms, all these things along the way. You got your snacks in the back of the car. You sit down in the car, you're excited, you're ready, but the car doesn't move. And you start thinking, why isn't the car moving? I've got gas in the tank, I've got the GPS set, the radio's tuned to the right station, my hand's on the steering wheel, I even fastened my seatbelt, but the car's not going anywhere. And you realize you didn't step on the gas. That's where the decision part fits in. Decision is really the action word in all of this Think and Grow Rich. It's the first real action that we have to take. And Napoleon Hill describes decision by its opposite, which is actually procrastination. And we all love procrastination. Anytime I can get a chance, I will procrastinate. Anytime I can find it. But decision is moving forward. It's an action that we take. It's finally putting our foot on that gas so we start to move. Now, all the steps leading up to decision are critically important, as is every step in Think and Grow Rich. But until you start actually doing something, nothing will happen. You can think all you want, but Think and Grow Rich is not think rich. It's think and grow rich. And the decision is that spark where you finally take action and move forward. It's where you finally decide that thinking about it is not enough. I need to take that first step to call that first client, to open that first account, to step on that gas so the car will actually begin to move. Henry Ford was famous for making decisions very quickly and then changing his mind very slowly later on, much to the consternation of people around him. But what he understood is once you've done the planning, you've done the research, you've got the motivation, you've done those first 7 steps that Napoleon Hill talks about. You planned it, imagination, specialized knowledge. Then you need to make that decision. And you need to make it quickly. You need to move forward quickly in it. Doesn't mean you're jumping in blindly. It means you've done the preparation beforehand. But all that preparation turns into procrastination, really, until you've taken that step, you've made that decision. So as we're taking this plan forward, as we're following through these steps, part of that planning we need to do is to plan our decision, to know when we are going to make that decision to take the first step forward, the first action word. Now, decision sounds like something in our mind, but decision is when it goes outside of our mind and becomes a reality that other people can finally see. Napoleon Hill talks a lot about the founding fathers in this chapter. John Adams especially, he mentions. And John Adams saw some of the things that he disagreed with. He wrote to some of his friends and talked about what he thought the country should be, the rights that they felt they should have, that they didn't have under the British rule. And as he started to writing back and forth with his friends, he realized that there was the next step that he needed to take. Thinking about it, writing letters to friends was not going to be enough. He had to actually organize people to take action on it. And throughout this chapter, he talks about the Founding Fathers and how they realized that once they saw something that they felt was unjust, they reached a point, maybe a breaking point, where they felt they had to take action. They understood the consequences, and even with those dire consequences, their life, their family could be forfeit because of what they were doing. But their desire, their understanding of the challenges and burden that was placed on them by the British, they realized that they no longer had a choice. They had to stand up. They had to do something. That decision point, it may not be that strong for all of us. We may not always have a life or death struggle or a burden so strong that we just feel in our heart we have no choice. We have to act upon that. But when we're setting our goals, we need to build that in our mind and realize that these things are important to us. And if we want them to move from just a wish, a desire, a whim, a daydream into a reality, we need that spark of decision to take place. So in your planning, as you're setting up your goals of what you want to do, always make sure to add in that decision point. When are you going to take action? And make sure that you follow that plan and begin the action phase of grow rich. Not just think. Think and grow rich. Whether that rich is in money, whether it's in prestige, whether it's in responsibility, whether it's in happiness, whether it's in your business, your life, your intellect, whatever you're seeking to grow rich in, it won't happen until we hit that first major milestone of decision and action. So let me close by saying, don't just think about rich. Make a decision to grow rich in your life.